Good evening, everyone, and it's an honor and pleasure to be here with you all. I'm not going to discuss theology tonight and try to prove the existence of God. We'd be here all night and then some. But rather, why belief in a supreme being is vital for the human condition and for the betterment of society. We humans have made great progress in many areas, in science, medicine, technology, and economics. We are far more advanced and better off than those generations that preceded us. But there is one area of life, and I would offer the most important area of life, where we don't seem to be faring any better than Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. And that's in the area of human relationships. Most married couples still play the same blame game as Adam and Eve. And we all deal with the same issues of jealousy, lust, hatred, and betrayal as did the biblical figures of the Old Testament. And that's because all of that is driven by the human ego. And the malady of egoism is as timeless and as borderless as love and hate themselves. Humility is the most difficult human quality to master, and it doesn't transfer from one generation to the next. Arrogance and narcissism come very naturally to all of us. That's our default position. Humility has to be developed and nurtured. It reminds me of the person who says, I used to be perfect, but now I'm modest. Well, it's not so simple. To truly be modest takes hard work, and that is what is required of us in order to engage successfully in a meaningful and lasting relationship with another person. You have to be able and willing to often sublimate your own ego to accommodate someone else, their needs and desires. Believing in and worshiping a supreme being is an exercise in that sublimation process. Submitting ourselves to a higher power creates a mindset and attitude that empowers us to treat others with respect and even reverence, especially if we keep in mind the Kabbalistic teaching that we are all created in the image of God. My mentor, Rabbi Menachem Schneerson of saintly memory, known as the Lubavitcher Rabbi, shared the following teaching. In the Ethics of Our Fathers, a book of rabbinic literature, we are instructed that everyone must appoint for themselves a lifelong teacher. But what if, asks the Rebbe, you are the smartest, most knowledgeable, and educated person around? Still, the Rebbe explains, you must recognize and, more importantly, refer to someone as your teacher, because it's an expression of humility and submission that every person needs. Think about the people we know who have achieved greatness, whether it be an athlete like Michael Jordan or my favorite author, Pat Conroy, and they will almost always tell you and point to a mentor or role model who inspired them and guided them. I remember many years ago being asked by a congregant, Rabbi, what if after 120 years we find out that the whole God and religious business is a hoax, that we were duped? What a waste of our lives it would be. And my answer was, I wouldn't regret it at all. Like, so what? What did I really miss out on? A cheeseburger? A Saturday round of golf? Believing in God has made me a better husband, a better father, a better son, and yes, a better rabbi. Because it has taught me and trained me that it's not all about me, and that the greatest way to serve God is to take care of his children, our fellow humans. And my friends, That is the most solid foundation for building a caring and compassionate society. President Ronald Reagan once said that family is the bedrock of society. Family living requires compromise, accommodation, and forgiveness. These are the commodities of humility. The measure of successful parenting is how the children get along with each other. So too, God's success and the sanctification of his holy name also depends on how we, the human race, his children, treat each other. Forsyth County is blessed to have the spiritual leadership of Rabbi Levi and Chaya Mentz. They are true role models of humility and power, forces for good in this society. My best wishes to the Jewish community of Forsyth and for all of its citizens of this wonderful county. I wish you all good health and to enjoy it in good spirit. Thank you and good night.